When RGB's involved, no one's safe. Hey folks, welcome back to the third video in our InWin 301 series. Now in the first video we cut a nice hole for the fans to breathe. The second video we did this nice blue and silver paint job. And the third video, it's all RGB. No, it's not. Actually, that will probably never happen on this channel. I'm not a big fan of blinky lights, but I am a big fan of shiny metal. And what we're going to do is take some shiny metal and make us a fan grill. Now, personally, I don't need it for protection of the fans, but people do have, you know, cats that produce tumbleweeds of fur, especially if your case is sitting on the floor, or maybe you have small children or siblings that you're worried about them shoving pencils and fingers and all sorts of stuff into your fans and tearing them up. In that case, fan grills are great. They're awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some perforated aluminum, and I love this stuff. I've used it in a lot of cases. We're going to take this, cut a piece down, mount it to the front, and basically make our fans a little bit safer and a little bit cooler looking. Let's talk about materials for a second. Basically, anything that lets air through and keeps other stuff out works as a fan grill. So personally, I like this perforated aluminum, but go to your local hardware store or check around online, find something that looks interesting, be creative, whatever floats your boat. The first thing we need to do is pull out our fan cage and measure the spot where the aluminum is going to go. Next, we're going to measure the area the aluminum is going to cover. Now, we could get by with just going big enough to cover our fan opening, but what I'm going to do is actually extend it all the way up to the top of the case as far as I can and all the way down to the bottom. That way, if any part of this is visible after the fans are put back in, it'll all look like it's supposed to be there. I'm going to use some masking tape just so I can make my lines easier to see. Now you can cut this with a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel on it, but I'm going to try a jigsaw. It's a little more difficult because this aluminum is so pliable, but if you're careful, you actually can get a really good cut. We also want to remember our safety glasses and probably a glove for our offhand just so we don't cut ourselves on any sharp edges on this aluminum. Now we want to take a hand file and knock down all our rough edges. Now that we've got the edges filed down, we're ready to figure out how we're going to finish this piece. Now, if this was steel, we'd want to go in, sand it, prime it, and paint it because we don't want it to rust on us. But with aluminum, really you don't have to worry about any corrosion. So we're just going to take a sanding block and sand it and give it a nice brushed finish. Now we're ready to stick our grill in. We can use any adhesive to hold this down. So something like a 5-minute epoxy would work pretty well. Today I'm going to use gasket maker just because it doesn't run around all over the place. So we're just going to put a couple of beads at the top, maybe some spots on the sides, put our grill down, put something heavy on top of it to hold it, and let it dry. All right, front's done. I think it turned out awesome. Now I did go in and put another grill in our power supply shroud just to clean up the build and kind of bring that mesh through the case. It's not totally necessary, but I think it adds to it. Plus, power supplies aren't exactly the prettiest things out there, so now you don't have to look at it when you're looking in your case. So to finish up this video, I think we're going to throw our fans back in because I want to see how the light plays through that mesh. Well, it turns out that when we put that mesh in there, apparently I guess this set against the front of the case, so this is just a little bit too long. So in order to fix that, we're just going to bend this up a bit. Not going to hurt anything, a little tweak to make it all work a little better. There you go, we've got the fans in, everything turned out pretty nice. We still got decent airflow. The lights actually come out nice, but you can't see with the lighting in here. This aluminum kind of overrides everything. But I'll make sure to get some shots of it in the dark because it really comes out when the lights are turned down. So this would definitely be a cool case at a LAN just because of that glow on the front. But that's making and installing fan grills. It's Pretty simple. It's very useful as far as keeping things out of your case, like children's fingers or cat fur tumbleweeds, whatever the case may be. And that's all I've got. So if you all liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to see what comes up next, which will be probably wrapping this case up and teasing the next $70 case, hit the subscribe. And if you have questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section. And until I see you all next time, get out there and mod something.